Hello and welcome along to our weekend racing preview in association with Ladbrokes. Now, I'm David Jennings from the Racing Post. Now, we're looking for a name. We need a name. So we want you to name this show. The best suggestion, and this is certainly worth applying for. The best suggestion, and leave a comment under the video. You'll see a little comment place where you can leave your comments. The best suggestion will win €100 or £100 worth of free bet courtesy of Ladbrokes. So think about it. What would you call this show? We want to hear from you. I'm David Jennings from the Racing Post, and I'm delighted to welcome back Miss Hayley O'Connor, the Queen of Ladbrokes from Holidays. How are you, Hayley?
I'm very good.
Good holiday?
Yeah, average.
Real or fake tan?
Oh, real tan.
Real tan,
even
okay.
though it was a little bit cloudy.
Okay. Mr. Brendan Duke, our Racing Post expert. How are you?
I'm good form, David. Yourself?
You were in great form last week. You're going for a hat-trick of unbelievable weeks.
Yes. This is probably where it all comes crashing down. But yeah, well, you never know.
Those of you that tuned in last week would have heard Brendan tip Barocco at a double-figure price.
Yes, he was 10-1, yeah.
Other winners along the way, like Acclaim, and he also had 6 Silver Lane at Dundalk. And the last time Hayley O'Connor appeared on the show, she had Show Palace. That was from left field, that one. Acclaim and Capri. So we really do have a hot team. And on last week's show, you might remember Gavin Lynch, our Dundalk expert. He was sizzling on the sand. He tipped my good brother who won the opening race. And Gavin has given us 3 for today. He's not here, but he's here in spirit. He's given us 3 for tonight. So get your pens and papers out. 6:30 Dundalk, Rianoch, 8-1. 7 o'clock Dundalk, Cockahula Baby, a 3-1. And Movie Star in the 7:30 at Dundalk. That's Gavin's Trixie. I'd advise you to get involved in those. So before we get stuck into the action, we're going to have our quickfire questions, which is causing a lot of controversy, really.
Oh, yeah?
Really is, yeah. Lizzie Kelly just can't wait to hear what this week's question is. But the first one is to you, Hayley. And as we know, Brendan needs all the dating advice he can get. So we're going to bring you into the equation this time. And we want to know if Brendan here, old buddy, old pal, if he was to bring a girl on a date to any race meeting in the world to try and really impress her, where should he bring her?
Well, to try and impress her or hold on to her, because obviously going to the Arc this weekend would be lovely. But you don't want to take her somewhere where she can end up meeting friends and running off on you. So maybe like Ballinrobe or something like that. Nice meeting, intimate, nice small space, no traffic getting in and out, but like a happy out kind of day.
Okay.
Laytown, another one.
Lovely. Yeah.
I like a little bit of intimacy there.
Yeah, absolutely.
But basically she's saying that you'll have no competition at Ballinrobe, because if you go to the Arc, she's just going to be swept off her feet
I
by
don't know.
somebody like me.
It's all kicking off in the Western Seaboard. They get serious crowds at those meetings.
They do,
yeah.
So there you go, Ballinrobe for you, Brendan.
Okay.
And your question is, with the Arc on Sunday, we want to know who would win an Arc between these 5 previous winners. Golden Horn, Trev, Sea the Stars, Zarkava and Montjuic. What a race that would be. But who wins it?
What a race indeed. How to pick? Okay, so the ratings would say Sea the Stars. I would say Zarkava.
Zarkava?
She only ran 7 times, of course. I think she ended up with a rating of 129. But in those 7 runs, she beat Goldakova over a mile and won an Arc over a mile and a half. I always had a soft spot for her. I think she might be the one I'd go for.
Okay, so Zarkava, who would you win for?
To me, I love Zarkava. Her son is running in this year's edition, but I think it would have to be Trev, because I think it was amazing when she won the first time, but then to come back after all her injuries and do what she did the second time was pretty incredible. Okay,
Zarkava, Trev, and I'm going to go for Sea the Stars. So we've got 3 different opinions there. So on to the racing action, and I suppose we're doing things a bit differently this week. We have to start off with the best race of the weekend, and that brings us to Sean T on Sunday. And what a cracking renewal we have of the Arc. It really is. It's the flat feature of the season, Hayley. It's a race we all look forward to. First of all, Ryan Moore has chosen winter.
Yeah.
Has he chosen right?
Yeah, absolutely. No doubt. Order of St. George isn't good enough to win it, and he came 3rd last year, and I think records show, I don't know, that the horses on their second attempt don't really do that well. Plus, she's a Dual Classic winner. But is she going to have the same sparkle to take on the likes of Enable? Probably not. This race has been really lucky for me. I've often got stuck in and won plenty of money. So for that reason, I did so much study trying to find something to beat. I came down that there was 10 possibles and 8 no-hopers, but basically, Enable can't be beaten.
That's 4-page notes, and that's what you come up with.
Well, yeah, but the thing is,
Could have done that in 2 minutes.
No, you can't, because I went through it, right, and
go on, give us something. Prove your work.
Well, basically, Ulysses is like probably her closest contender, right? And there was a stone between them in the King George. There's only £10 between them this time, but she still beat him by 4.5 lengths. So if you're going on ratings, she still beats him. Whether she's had a really hard season or not, but she just has that like really special thing about her, and you need a special horse to win the Arc. You know, more so than the Derby, I think.
And will it be a case of she's even money, it's too short to get stuck in, or are you going to say, well, I could double my money? Will you back Enable?
Yes.
Excellent. That's what we want to hear. Hayley O'Connor will be getting stuck into Enable. Will you, Mr. Brendan Duke?
No, I don't think I will. Just at the price. I mean, Hayley makes a compelling case, and also made a fairly good case for why Order of St. George can't win. But in spite of that, I would be backing Order of St. George each way, because I just cannot have them out of the frame. As we know from our discussion pre-Champions weekend, when they're soft in the ground. Now, what's very interesting about Shanty this week is it was soft at the start of the week, and it hasn't rained all week, and it's still soft. Now, I know, and the listeners out there, like I've had a line of washing out for the last 3 days, David. There isn't good drying out at the moment, but there's also 3 mils due tonight, between tonight and tomorrow morning, so it should keep the ground soft. He's just a monster on soft ground, and his form this season, I mean, he beat Rekindling out the gate. All right, Rekindling had a penalty, but then he goes and finishes beating 2 lengths in a crack St. Ledger. I just can't see Order of St. George out of the frame. He's a knocking each way back.
There's no way you do your own washing. Absolutely
I
not.
do.
You send them to Mammy, surely.
No.
You do your own washing.
I'm running the household, yeah.
What about the German horse? That's the only kind of thing I was thinking would be an each way bet if I was going to have one.
What does your note say about the German
Well,
horse?
it says Dishing's Secret won the Prix fight. Now, there's that other horse, Cloth the Stars. He's very talented. Won a Group 3, then a 2, and then 1. But he just looks like he spends more time trying to give the jockey a hard time than actually win. But abundance of talent. But I thought Dishing's Secret, or however you say it, looks a real kind of professional sort. But you can't, based on form, you can't. It's apples and oranges.
Okay, and I actually think Winter has a chance. I genuinely do. She has a touch of class. She's by Galileo. I think she'll handle the ground, and she's turned inside out in the last couple of weeks, apparently. So I'm going to give a tentative vote to Winter. You're an Enable fan?
Enable.
And you're an Order of St. George fan.
Indeed.
So there is the Arc sorted out. Anything else on the Sean T card? It's a cracking card. Plenty of Irish contenders. Plenty of overseas challenges. What do you fancy as Sean T?
In the, I think it's the 145, the Prix Jean-Luc Lagardère.
Oh, he's doing it again.
Happily takes on the Colts. The poor Colts have to give her £4. Again, the soft ground isn't ideal for her, but she found a way to overcome in the Curragh the last day in the Moy there. I think she'll win again.
And even if you don't fancy some of the horses in the other races, could you just give us the name of a few of the other races on the Sunday card?
There's definitely a Prix de l'Abbé.
No, you put no effort into that
was
whatsoever.
like
There's
There's
definitely
definitely the Prix de l'Abbé. Give us a bit of French.
there's definitely a Prix Marcel Boussac.
Oh,
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah. And there's a Prix de la Foire.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's your lot now.
I don't know. I think you're getting worse than that. You used to be really good.
Well, the law of diminishing returns applies. I don't actually speak French, David. I don't,
Hayley, anything in the pre-races on the supporting guards you fancy, Shanty?
In the Prix de l'Opera, I kind of like Hydrangea, maybe.
Rymur has picked Hydrangea over Rhododendron. Very interesting. So there is your Shanty preview. Moving on to Saturday, or should I say moving back to Saturday. We've already done Sunday. We've sorted out all those winners at Shanty. What a cracking card we've got at Newmarket. My God. On any other weekend, you will be just craving for Saturday to start, but we can't wait for Sunday. The Group 1 Middle Park, it's a really interesting race this year. And again, Aidan does hold the key, I suppose.
Yeah, he could hold the key, but I'm so loved that horse, unfortunately, by Society Rock. Just loved what he did in the pre-morning. He's 4-1 Beckford as well. Probably he's been knocking on the door in a couple of Group 1s, and it'd be great. I don't know, I really want to see Gordon Elliott to continue to do so well in the flat, but yeah, unfortunately.
So Sioux Nation is just about top in the market at the moment, but I think Beckford is a huge price here. I think 6 furlongs, Newmarket. He traded at 1.18 against Verbal Dexterity.
He travelled very strongly.
He travelled like a dream. I think he's a sprinter, and I think he's overpriced at 7-1. Your thoughts, Mr. Brendan Duke?
Well, my thoughts are we've already had 3 horses mentioned with a huge chance. This is a really deep race. I love that Sands of Mali in the gym crack, though. I was only when I went back and watched it again. He absolutely
form boosted since as well.
It was perfectly good effort from Invincible at the weekend. Yeah, Sands of Mali would be the one I'd plumb for, but in a very tough race.
Now, I think Clemmy is the bet of the weekend, potentially at Newmarket. I think she's a star, and I think she's still improving. Typical Aidan O'Brien improver. She runs in the Sheveley Park Stakes, the other Group 1 at Newmarket on Saturday. Did you like Clemmy?
No, I didn't actually, because in this one I particularly like the underdog. Obviously, Clemmy is blue blood, sister to Churchill, but something that's not blue blood in the race is Conran's Different League, who I was just so happy to see this filly progress. She only cost 14 grand. It's the rags to riches story. She won the Albany. They couldn't sell her. It was brilliant, and she's got that, brilliant experience, and she's taken on the Colts previously. So at 8-1, I think Different League, who was third in the Prix Morny, is really
I
tasty.
still haven't forgiven her for beating Alpha Centauri.
Oh, you can't get over it.
The little Different League. The Cheveley Park Stakes, Brendan. Interesting race. I know you don't like getting stuck into favourites at short prices, but Clemmy 7-4. She wins, doesn't she? Come on, please give me a bit of confidence here.
She must have a massive chance. The cut in the ground is arguably against her, but she'll find a way to overcome. These Galileos always do. But I just couldn't separate the first three in the betting. I didn't think there was much between them. And then
Well, it's your job. That's why you're sitting here.
I know. Unfortunately, to sit in the fence again, I was even giving that Betty F a squeak at a price. I just thought that this, again, was another deep race. If you forced me to have a bet, I'd probably back Clemmy.
Right, I'm forcing you. You're going to back Clemmy.
I'm going to back
Clemmy. Okay. Now, those are the two Group 1 races at Newmarket on Saturday, but we've also got the Cambridgeshire. And if you're not going to have a bet in the two Group 1 races, are you going to have a bet in the Cambridgeshire?
I am.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Well,
tell me more.
Well, it's a kind of a spin-up as well. I'm very loyal to horses that do me a turn, and Barocco did us a turn last week. And I was so impressed with him. I mean, he beat the right horses. It was a hot race going into it. And most impressive was the way he settled, because he's his own worst enemy normally, this horse. But he settled really well, came through very strongly, picked up and won comfortably in a strong race. He's got a £6 penalty, but that got him into the race, so swings and roundabouts. I'm going to back Barocco again each way.
Barocco, you're staying loyal.
Yeah.
I like Novo Man for Georgia Cox and William Haggis. On a 3-timer, I think the drop to a mile will be fine for Novo Man. Miss Hayley O'Connor, what do you like in the Cambridgeshire?
I haven't. These big handicaps, I'm too lazy to go through them, so I just see a horse that I kind of caught my eye.
Lazy! That is anything but lazy.
But Central Square from Roger Variance, I think he's about like 40-1, but he's been running a good company. He was based in Ireland. Loads of ability.
Headbanger.
I think, who rides him? Colin, who rides? Oh no, Andrea Tenzi won a relatively big handicap.
Andrea who?
I can't say it. I'm not, you say it.
Atzani.
He has won a handicap on him before at Doncaster, so I'm just going to go with him because I like Roger Varian as well.
And he's a good rider, isn't he? What's his name again?
Andrea.
The double A.
The double A, yeah. Double A. Good old battery he is. Anything else on the Newmarket card that you like, Hayley?
Just Roaring Lion, I thought, from John Gosden's in the Royal Lodge, but to beat Nelson, who's a very short price.
Now, the last time Hayley was on, she plucked Show Palace from nowhere. So is Roaring Lion the Show Palace of this week?
Yes.
Okay, that's interesting. Roaring Lion
72.
against Nelson. Anything else you like on the Newmarket card?
Nothing else, David.
Nothing else? No? Okay, dokes. Now, the jumps is well and truly back. We've got the Grade 2 PWC Champion Chase at Gorham Park. And what a race we have in store. We've got the Galway Plate winner in the lineup. We've got good old Ballycasey. We've got Shane's Hill. It's a small but select lineup, Hayley. And what's really interesting here, the three horses at the top of the market are all rated 158, identically rated. Will Balco the Flow follow up his Galway Plate win?
I don't know. I think Goran. I think Ballycasey at Goran. I'm not a huge fan of Ballycasey. I think he can be a little bit overrated.
He's lovely.
But I'm just going to stick with him because he's won this. He's won the Red Mills, and he's Willie Mullins, and it's Goran.
Okay. I think Balco the Flow wins this. What do you think?
I'm inclined to agree with you. I know the £7 could technically swing it around for Shane's Hill, but he's an awful habit of clouting a fence, doesn't he? And the Goran, they're stiff fences in Goran. I thought Balco at the weights was the best.
Yeah, I think Balco is the one improving of the
trio.
He's
only 6, of
course,
he's
getting better. I'm not sure if the other two are just potentially on the decline. Anything else in the Gorham Park card?
No.
You're just laughing at me now. Yeah. Anything else you like in the Gorham Park card?
Nothing at Goran, no.
I just realised that these chairs swivel a bit.
Oh, yeah, it's nice.
That is, now, there's racing everywhere. Now, Hayley, I know you've picked something out here. We've got Chester, we've got Market Raisin, we've got Ripon, we've got Haydock. Does anything tickle your fancy at any of those meetings?
Well, I've been going against favourites, but I'm going to stick with Bye Bye Baby in the 410, who Aidan O'Brien is taking over to Newmarket after she was narrowly defeated last time. So I'm going to stick that in, whatever.
Bye Bye Baby, nabbed on the line by the Gerlines horse
exactly.
at Leopardstown. That is correct. Of those meetings, anything you like?
There was
Brendan?
one, the 350 in Haydock, a horse called Dalton. It's only his 5th run for David O'Mara. He won on his seasonal debut in a maiden in Ayr, only a 5-runner race. But the second actually gives the form a reasonably relatively solid look. Then he went lame on his handicap debut, but he's only had 5 runs. He cost a few quid. He's a very well bred horse and bred to relish the deep ground. I thought off a mark of 81, he had a real chance.
Okie dokes. And we just very quickly before we finish up, Tipperary on Sunday, Super Sunday at Tipperary. Did you manage to get a look, or do you like anything?
No, haven't gone near.
Too much racing, isn't there?
Too much racing.
Tipperary?
Yes, I didn't get to Sunday yet.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you now, right? Those of you that watched the show before, I tipped a horse here 2 weeks ago called Ellerbrook. And D. Ellerbrook is running in the 2:30 at Musselburgh on Sunday, and this wins. I promise you. I absolutely promise you, this filly wins. There's no betting in yet. She's rated 61. She was so unlucky. She finished 3rd after falling out of the stalls last time. She's gone up a pound. I think she's got a stone in hand. So the arc is on. There's probably football on everywhere. There's golf. There's everything on. The 2:30 at Musselburgh, you'll forget about it. Don't put a reminder on your phone. Back Ellerbrook in the 2:30 at Musselburgh on Sunday. So all that's left to be done now, and I've started it, I suppose, is to reveal our best bets of the weekend. And I will start with Ellerbrook in the 2:30 at Musselburgh on Sunday. Hayley O'Connor.
I'm going to go all in on Enable, and I'm also going to say congratulations, David, because I remember a long time ago when we were driving home from Down Royal, you said you were going to be quicker off the mark getting engaged. So I'm glad you finally took the plunge.
I did. I took the plunge and I got engaged. God help poor Aoife. Little does she know what she's letting herself in for, let me tell you. She's only about to find out. Mr. Brendan Duke, you didn't get engaged? No.
No, I didn't, but may I say that Aoife's a very lucky girl, David. Yes, indeed. And for my nap, I know it's a bit of a cop-out to put up a horse each way for a nap, but Order St. George's I'm knocking each way back.
Order St. George in the Arc on Sunday. So there you go. Now, don't forget, we really need a name for the show. We want a really good name. There's some absolutely geniuses watching this programme. So I want you to leave a comment with the name. You could win 100 quid worth of free bets. Like, who doesn't want to win 100 quid? So the best name for this show will win 100 quid. Don't forget to leave your comment. I've been David Jennings from the Racing Post. She's been the Queen of Ladbrokes, Miss Hayley O'Connor. He's been Brendan Duke. Thanks for joining us.